How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Today I want to do something that I've been doing on my second channel, which is answering some of your questions. I also want to give you a couple things I found really interesting, remind you about a stock that you might have forgotten about. I did a video on it probably a month ago or so, and it's a stock that got hit hard over the last couple weeks. It's one that you should definitely take a look at because of its value and some of its connections. And I want to go through, again, a lot of the questions. That's the main point of these videos. I've been doing it almost every single day. So how you ask these questions to me, you join the Patreon. Every day, people ask me questions. I go through and I answer every single one as long as you put it in the right place. I've been answering every single one. They've been longer videos, maybe 20, 25 minutes on my second channel, but we're going to do it on the main channel here today. And again, this isn't going to be like where I do a lot of research ahead of time. I'm just taking your questions and answering them exactly how I know now. So there might be companies that I haven't heard of, that I haven't looked into. There are a lot of companies that I have looked into. There are my updated opinions on what's happening in the market, all that kind of stuff. Now, that being said, I also don't edit these. I don't cut them. I don't want to do that. Maybe once or twice if I cough or something, I'll cut it out. Or if I yell into the microphone or something, I should move that way now. I might change and cut out little pieces there. But generally, it's pretty right from the cuff, as they say. So I want to go through that. However, before we do, if you guys don't mind hitting the like button, I really appreciate it. This is something I like to do. I think it's good for the Patreon members to be able to ask questions. If you guys want to check out the Patreon, there is a link down below. I've been telling them about different stocks I've been buying over the last couple weeks. A lot of them are up. I've been giving my updated opinion. A lot of the time, it's just, helping people when they've never seen red, or helping people distinguish between different stocks that are good values and not good values. And, when people see lawsuits and stuff like that, that's what I try to do, which is just provide my own thought process on it. So there is that link down below to Patreon. There is also a link down there to Blockfy. And the reason I bring this up is Blockfy just landed this $350 million Series D bonus or valuation. Sorry, it moved over on me there, but they just landed a $350 million raise at a $3 billion valuation. People ask me all the time whether I think this is like a Ponzi scheme or, something sketchy. I don't think it is at all. I mean, obviously there are people putting lots of money in this company. This is definitely a company that I like, and I put money in myself. They pay an interest rate of 6% on Bitcoin, 5.25% on Ethereum, and up to 9.3% on different stablecoins. So if you want, check out the link down below to Blockfy. You can definitely check that out. There was a little dip in Bitcoin today too, so you could have gotten a nice little deal there. Now, again, before we go into the questions, I want to talk about a stock that I think some people have forgotten about, and that's Humacite. So Humacite's a stock that I've done videos on before. The ticker here is AHAC. I'm just pulling it up here for you. And it's sitting right around $11 right now. Now, I bought this one at $11.70 or so, and I've been holding on the whole time. You can see it went all the way up to $15 and then kind of came down a good amount. Now, I really like this one. If you're looking in the biotech space and you want a biotech company, this is a really interesting one. It allows the mass production of human organs and blood vessels within a laboratory. They've got some really big partnerships already, so the market is huge for this, just to be clear. You can take a look. This is a really good article by Seeking Alpha on it, but I want to get down. They had some good clinical data. They have huge partnerships. So they have a commercial partnership with Fresenius Medical Care, a leader in dialysis as well as surgical care centers with nearly 4,000 dialysis centers in 150 countries. So they already have a big partnership with them. They've invested $150 million into Humacite, and they own 19% of the company. The base valuation is $800 million, and it's not up that much from where it was where it was when it was $10 a share, again, because it's only 11 right now. And this is very similar. They say it's roughly the same as the last round of funding by Fresenius. Also, they do have fast track for the FDA. And let me see. There's another partnership that they have. They're working with the U.S. Department of Defense for its vascular trauma product. So they've already been previously awarded a $3.4 million $3.4 million from the Department of Defense for their phase 2 trial. So take a look at this company. I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm telling you to take a look at it. I'll put up the video that I did on it on the end screen from a while ago and take a look at it. I think it's really one that has a lot of potential upside. Of course, it has the risks of a lot of these biotech stocks where, sure, it can go down. It could have issues with commercialization. It could have some problem with FDA approval. But that is a risk for a lot of these biotech stocks. This is a company that has the downside protection because it still is in its SPAC transition. You can see here it was announced, I believe, right around February 16 or so. It usually takes 3 to 6 months for these things to merge. So we still have months of protection here, most likely. Now, of course, do your research on this. But let's get into the questions here. Is it a good time to buy CIDM and Ride? So CIDM, I don't really know that much about CIDM, but Ride is a company that that has fallen down a good amount recently because of a short seller report. There was a short seller report by, who was it, Hindenburg, that just came out, I think today, and they were talking about how basically they think that some of their pre-orders are, I forgot how they phrased it, some of their pre-orders might not be real. I don't know. I didn't read the report, honestly. I don't follow the stock that much because I don't own it. But I did see there was a short seller report. Hindenburg has come out against Nikola, and they actually were right on a lot of different things on Nikola. So it caused the stock to drop down a lot. Now, first of all, you have to take a look at the report. If you're someone that is interested in this, take a look at the report. See if you feel like these issues, the things that they bring up, are possible, right? I mean, like some of the stuff with Nikola was huge, like pushing down a vehicle, down a hill, saying that it was in motion and stuff like that. That's pretty big. That's pretty misleading. There's some short seller reports that I don't think hold a lot of weight, but you have to take a look at that. Now, if you figure out, okay, I'm willing to take the risk, take a look at the 1 year. Besides a couple days around very late October and early November, we have not seen lows like this since August. So you might want to take a look. Since the peak, it's fallen down about 53%. So you can definitely take a look, see if you're interested in this one. It might be a good time to buy in if you like the company. Of course, I think they really need to be first to market on this. They can't be late because then, they need to be first to market on their electric trucks. If they can do that, I think it'll be big. Is CCIV still a good hold? Yeah, so nothing with CCIV has changed over the last couple weeks. The valuation changed a little bit compared to what we thought when they announced the merger, but I'm still going to hold it. I think this is a really long-term play. In my opinion, I think they're in a different market than a lot of these other EVs, and I think that, behind Tesla, this is probably the EV company that will win out here in America. I could be wrong, but yeah, I'm going to hold it for a while. I did sell out of my initial investment just to recoup my cost basis, so now everything I have in there is just profit, but I'm going to hold on to it. Are IPOD and IPOF good to buy? So I think these are the two Chamath SPACs that haven't been announced yet. I don't know what they're sitting at now. Let's take a look. IPOD and IPOF. So they were up a lot before this last dip, and then they fell dramatically. They were up at like $16 and $19 or something like that. So if you really like Chamath, if you really think that what he's going to bring to the table is good, sure, maybe buy these SPACs. However, it could be a while before they announce. They have 2 years, and there's been a lot of turbulence in the SPAC market right now. I wouldn't be buying these at $12 and $13 because there are a lot of good companies like AHAC, which is merging with Humacite, that are sitting around that $11 mark that already have announced that just aren't moving that much. And you can see here, like if there's another sell-off, these could easily go down to like $11, $10, like a lot of the other SPACs. I just think that right now, these could go up. A lot of people like Chamath, but I wouldn't be putting my money there. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice, but that's just my thought. It could be good, though, if they fall down again, maybe, but I think there are other places to put money. Have you looked into IVR. Supposedly they pay nice dividends. So IVR, Invesco Mortgage Capital, they pay an 8.5% dividend yield. I would just be careful. So I haven't looked into this company in general. However, I would be careful because of the fact that a lot of the time with these dividend payers, this is a REIT. If they're paying such high dividends, they're probably not reinvesting in their business, or they're burning through cash that they had. So I just be careful. If you see like a 7, 8, 9% dividend yield, that's pretty high, unless we see like a massive dip in the market and you can pick up a stock that was like $100 and you can pick it up for $50 or something. Like we saw that last year a lot. I would be careful about a dividend yield that's so high. We can see it's raised their dividend a good amount here. So like if you look at it from the last quarter, it's not paying an 8.5% yield based on the last quarter or 2 quarters ago. So it's taking the annual dividend of 32 cents from just the last quarter. So with this, they could just increase it from 1 quarter. I mean, heck, you're getting 8 cents. So they could increase it 1 cent and it would increase the dividend yield by 1%. So that's just something to pay attention to. It could artificially get pumped up for 1 quarter and then come back down. So just be careful with that. I haven't looked at this company in general though. Can you please share your process and thoughts when reviewing/researching a stock, like do an example analysis? Yeah, so I have been thinking I really need to do this for some people that are newer to the stock market. And I don't know if I'll do like a full analysis, partly because like some of that I do in my videos. But I think showing like a random stock that I get thrown my way and going through it and showing, okay, what do I do with all companies as opposed to what am I doing with companies that do really well, or the companies I'm bullish on. So I might do that. I might show you like what I look for. That I might put up on the second channel or in the Patreon or something like that soon. When do you think 5G plays will start to gain momentum again? So 5G plays, I think we're starting to get some momentum in 2020. Not too many people are talking about them this year. Now that being said, I'm not really plugged into the 5G space. There are going to be some things that 5G has to work through coming forward because of how close their towers have to be and stuff like that. But I think it will be really important in the coming years as we get better and better technology. Like when we're talking about 5G cars, we need 5G technology to make really quick, make data process really quickly and transfer really quickly. So I'm not sure. I think with 5G, it might be one of those things where you just buy for the long term and you sit on it for 10 years and then just look back on it. I don't know if you're going to want to time that one out, but I could be wrong too. Any idea on how the market will respond, like major ups and downs after the Fed's meeting next week, March 16? So I don't think Jerome Powell has changed what he's been saying really at all. So he's been really steady with his thoughts on inflation, on raising interest rates and stuff like that. I don't know how we're going to respond next week, but he's been pretty steady. So with the market, who knows? I mean, we're talking about bond rates increasing from 1.5 to 1.6%, and we're seeing dips of 5 to 10% in certain stocks today. So it's really a crapshoot what's going to happen there. Could you make a video about when you are realizing profit and loss? And I'm interested, what do you think about Snowflake? So Snowflake was a stock that I really liked, but it jumped up so much when it hit the market, so I never got into it. Can I make a video about realizing profit and loss, though? I'm careful about doing that because I think I'm going to have to generalize a lot, and there are so many different situations where I would realize a profit or where I would realize a loss. And a lot of it has to do with taxes too. So it depends if you're like in a tax advantage account. It depends if you're in a traditional account. It depends if or a brokerage account. It depends if you're in the US or if you're outside the US. I'm careful about doing that just because there's going to be no one size fits all. I'm not like a penny stock trader, or I'm not like a day trader or anything like that. Even a swing trader. I guess there are certain situations where I do swing trade, but it's more like I just buy a stock that I like and it goes up so much so quickly that I just think I should trim it or sell it or something, or I need to shore up some cash or something. So I might do that, but probably not, just because I'm cautious that some people will then just take what I say and do it all the time. And that's not really what I'm trying to do here. Watching Meet Kevin, he said market is not painful enough, so not buying. Should I say bullets too? Seems 10-year bond rate going even higher after the stimulus. Yeah, so I haven't been buying a lot today. I think there were such good deals last week. A lot of us are like, why would I buy right now? Even with a 5% dip, everything's up 20% or 30% compared to what it was last week. And that's going to be something that we have to readjust to. It's hard after it's been down so much to want to buy when it's up 20 or 30%. But remember, we're still at like a 20 to 30% discount from where we were 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I'm still holding on. I think there's so much volatility that could happen in the short term. It's kind of like a crapshoot. Do you want to put your money in just to make sure that you get today's prices? I'm going to be careful about what I pick and choose here going forward. Have I looked into very good food company lately? New processing plant opening in Vancouver. So I haven't looked into very good food company lately. I still know that they are valued much higher than Tattooed Chef, but it's not something I don't have anything against them. I'd be interested to see kind of what happens over the coming quarters to see if they can, come down a little bit from their lofty valuation. So I'm not ruling it out, but I haven't looked into it recently. Anyone having BFT stock received this tender offer? Any advice? So BFT I'm still holding on to. What are my views on NEO for the medium/long term? So much conflicting reports on where the price target can land on. Yeah, so you're really betting on EV with NEO and Chinese EV. I think they're one of the best players for China. I mean, I think you're looking Tesla and NEO really. I mean, there are some other players that I like too. You have to take a look at their valuations and growth and stuff. But NEO is definitely a stock that I think will do well long term. It's one that I almost bought during the dip, but there are so many deals I just didn't. It would have been great to pick it up at 32. Now that it's at 44, but I've done this a couple of times on NEO where I could have bought the dip and I didn't. Now, that being said, I could have bought like a $40 dip a couple months ago and it would have gone to 32 after that. So who knows where we'll see it short term. It's one of those EVs that has been going up so much that I think people think that it's overvalued when there's a market dip and they move to other sectors. But I think it will do well long term. Could you do a video on Roblox? Yeah, so I might be doing a video on Roblox. With this one, it moved up so quickly. It moved up to $70 just like that when it came out, I think at 48 or 45. I might do a video on it if it falls under 60. We're still far away from that now. I think we're sitting around 70. But if it went down to $56 a share, based on, right now they're having about $300 million a quarter in revenue, and they're growing at about 20% a quarter, 20 to 25% a quarter actually in revenue. So if they're able to do that for the next couple quarters, that would, let's say that they get up to $400 million a quarter in revenue, $1.6 billion run rate, and they're at $56 a share. That would put them at a price to sales of about 20, which I think makes them a little bit more realistic compared to where they are now. So I might do a video then if it falls down to a level that I really like it at, but I don't know if it will fall down that much. And if they keep on gaining more revenue, gaining more recognition, it might just keep on going up. What do I think about Ride? Kind of talked about that earlier. And now we have some questions just from the Discord. So again, I throw it on the Discord and then people can ask me questions in the Patreon here. Okay. What happened with SBE? It went to ChargePoint? Yeah, so it flipped over to ChargePoint. They've completed their SPAC merger. I added BNGO and NNDM, so everything down. Okay, now a question there. Can you please share your M1 Finance profile link to mirror your dividend portfolio. Yeah, so I can do that. I can just show you where my portfolio is all the time. I don't think it shows numbers, but it shows how it's broken down. When do you expect Neo to release their Robo taxi? So I don't know when they're looking at their Robo taxi. I would assume it's behind Tesla, but again, I don't own Neo, so I'm not super plugged into like everything that they release. So I haven't dug deep into when their Robo taxi will be released, I'll be honest. Okay. Can you teach options? I don't use options myself, so probably not. I'm probably not the best person to ask on that. What are your thoughts on ATNF? Most shorted stock with great pipeline and management team. Okay, ATNF. So I don't think I've actually done a deep dive on this. 180 Life Sciences Corp. I know that I've taken a look at it, but I don't remember why. I don't know. Is this something that ARK Invest has or something? I've definitely taken a look at it, but I don't remember why I've taken a look. You can see here, it dove down and it's coming up a good amount. It's a small company here. I might have to look deeper into that though. Do I think that the tech and growth sector will come back anytime soon? Ran out of capital. Please be as objective as possible if you answer. Yeah, so I did a video on this right on Monday, I want to say, or on Friday. I don't remember. It was right when we hit the bottom, and I said this is the sector to put money into long term. Like, I know it's scary that it's fallen down 20 to 30%, but in 5 to 10 years, do you think that the blue chip companies of the world, the Walmarts, the Costcos, the cruise lines, do you think they will grow as quickly as some of these tech sectors, some of these tech sector stocks? I said, no, I don't think that they will do that. So I don't know how quickly they'll come back. I think there's just a lot of volatility in the market, a lot of fear in the market, a lot of people seeing tech stocks that have gone up 100, 200% over the last couple months, over the last year. And I think people are worried, but this is where I see growth over the next 5 to 10 years. I think the 2020s will be a great decade for the stock market. There's a lot of money in here. There's a lot of growth. There's a lot of changing in money from the older generations down to the newer generations. I think that there will be a lot of money to be made, and I think tech and growth are the places to gain it. Now, of course, have a well-balanced portfolio. I'm not saying to put all your money in any tech stock or anything like that. I do hold some index funds, but a lot of my money is in the tech sectors. Sam, when are you going to make a video on your new house, MTV Crib style? I don't know. Maybe, I can't move in for 3 months. I told them, because they're building a house, I told them that I would wait until 3 months from now so that they could get a little bit further into that process. That was part of our offer. Maybe I will do that someday. What do you think about GSAT? Too expensive? So GSAT, I looked into a couple months ago. It is a little bit expensive, but it's also pretty interesting too. So I'm sitting out on that one. Just one that I still need to do more research into, honestly, but it could be good long term. What do you think about DPW stock? Okay. Alt Global Holdings. I have no idea what this is. Yeah, so I have no idea. It's only $100 million stock. I've never heard of it, actually. Good morning. What do you think about ChargePoint after earnings? Should we hold or buy on dip? So if you're looking long term, it could be a great stock to buy the dip on. I'm still holding it. I've just been a little bit more cautious the last couple days with all this green. But that being said, I think if you're looking long term, ChargePoint's definitely one to buy. I didn't buy though. Like I said, I am holding some cash because I did buy a lot earlier this week before we saw so much green, but definitely one that I'm looking at buying more in the next couple months. I realize it could be much higher, but also I am getting ready for that home purchase and for a big tax bill. So just my thoughts on that. I want to have some money for deals in case something comes up. Ride at $14. Yeah, so I talked about that a little bit earlier. Also, BTC, I know you're bullish and long on it. Do you think it's too late? No, so I don't think it's too late. Again, if I thought it was too late, I wouldn't hold it. So it's gonna log me out there. But if I wasn't bullish, I wouldn't have it anymore. So I would have sold it. It is larger than any individual stock. It's a larger position than any two, maybe even three individual stocks in my portfolio. As of now, of course, I'm going to be building up positions after I don't have all these expenses. But Bitcoin long term, I think, is going to be really good. Of course, like, think about what it is. So there is, some people are super bullish on it. Like, they love the technology. Some people think it's going to go to 500,000 like in the next couple of years. Some people think that it's worthless. So you have to feel good about it. I think as a technology and as a store of value, you can't just buy it thinking it's going to go up, because then as soon as it falls down 10 to 20%, you're probably going to sell out. What I would do is, honestly, I would get a Blockfy account, put some money in GUSD or USDC, something that pays a nice interest rate like 8.6 to 9.3%. And then as soon as Bitcoin does take a dip, throw some money in, just average in there. Of course, you might miss out on some of the upside, because who knows, it could go up to 65K by next week. I don't know. But if you're a little bit cautious about it, that's one way to go about it. Just know that you might miss out a little bit, as opposed to if you just throw money in Bitcoin. But I think that's one good way to do it. What are everyone's most conviction stocks? We could go on for a while on that. What crypto do you recommend for long, short term? So I don't buy a lot of like the smaller cryptos. I only hold Ethereum and Bitcoin, and both of those are long term. I'm not selling. I'm buying a little bit here and there. It will be a large portion of my portfolio as I have more free cash flow to throw in investments. Any dips that I should probably buy? So again, ChargePoint was down a good amount today. There's some other stocks that were down a decent amount too. And then I think we have a couple more questions here. I went to short a stock today, and it said hard to borrow and the fee is 30%. What does this mean? So I don't short any stocks. So I'm probably not the best person to ask on that. Question, saw your video with different sources of income, which includes YouTube, videos, advertising, referrals, and then Patreon. I'm very happy, and this is pure hard work, but I had a question which is of interest to all members in the community. Since these are all different sources of income, are you able to put in the time to choose the best stocks for this community? I don't know. So I don't know exactly what the question is, because I don't think that having like I don't have to do anything for the advertising. Like for the YouTube ads, I don't pick the companies, so it doesn't take any time. Referrals is just for like WeBull and Blockfy, so that doesn't really take any time. And then Patreon. So most of the time I'm just like researching stocks and then talking to the Patreon members about it and then making a video on it. That's pretty much what I do all day long. So I don't think it really takes away, like the different income sources take away from that. I noticed better due diligence in the earlier months from investors, PPTS, etc., but now it seems the focus is on creating as much videos as possible. As soon as there is some hype crash, anything I see a video. Do you feel this is the case? If yes, do you feel the above causes number distractions in investing / stock picking? I don't know what PPTS is, but so I guess I don't know if you're asking about me specifically or the whole YouTube sector. I've actually been doing less videos. Back like a month or two ago, maybe even 3 months ago, I was making like 3 to 5 videos a day during the week. I've dialed it back to spend more time really analyzing the market. So I think the whole market though, like YouTube in general, sure, as soon as there's some type of hype or crash, people want to jump on it for views, especially because when there is a market downturn, a lot of us get less views. There are less people that are watching the video. So yeah, a lot of creators will try to make videos on whatever they think will do well. Okay, this isn't a personal finance question, but wondering what do you think about Microvast, THCB, since your last video? Seems like a really compelling story in the EV space, and with the stock trading below $15, seems like there making big progress with the factory buildouts. They also have a partnership with Oshkosh, which looks to be the winner of the USPS contract. So with Microvast, I haven't looked at it super in depth since this last video. I don't hold it anymore. I did sell it, but it might be a good long-term winner. I just haven't looked at it. Prediction about ZOM. So a lot of people ask me about ZOM, but like almost every day, but I haven't looked at it since the one video I did. I never bought it, so there wasn't really much of a reason to continue looking at it. Invite me to your wedding. We might be doing a very small wedding, so I don't even know if some people that normally would expect to be invited will be there. We're still deciding on that. What's my opinion on SOS? Again, this is another one that like I talked about once or twice, but I never bought it. I never said that I was going to buy it. I don't even think I did a video on it. So I'm not sure. I'm probably not the best person to ask. Where can we see your updated portfolio? So I hold positions in a lot of different stocks and a lot of different portfolios. So I update every couple weeks and then give that video to you guys, but I have not done one since probably 2 weeks ago or so. What do you think about SNPW? So this one is only a $68 million company. I have not dove deep on this one. I feel, so I haven't looked at this one real in depth before. I don't think. It's developing a waste to energy plant. Okay. Yeah, so it looks like it's in a hot sector, but yeah, I'm not sure. Apparently I have looked into it, but I don't remember it too much. What stocks have chances to be added to the space ETF ARCX? I've done a video on that, on some of the top space stocks. I think there are a handful of them. HOL stock, Astra, SFTW merging with BlackSky, NPA. I think there are a lot of them that could be added. Also 3D printing stocks, but off the top of my head, I don't have my portfolio pulled up, so I think those are just some of them. But I've done a video on like 5 different space stocks, and you can take a look at that. Thoughts on the sell rating for SQ? I don't know what sell rating it has on it, but I don't know who put that on. But I like Square long term. I think it's going to be a fintech winner over the years to come, and it's actually making a nice comeback today. I bought it. I really should have bought it at I think it dipped to 190. I bought it at 227, so up a little bit since then. But I think it's a long-term winner. I think it's going to be huge in the space, and a lot of people just look at what it's doing now, not what it could do in the future. Okay, so I talked about this a little bit. I might have to do a video on that. Okay, NNDM, ARCX, Sam, with a high market volatility, what do you think about bank stocks and fears of inflation? So I have a couple bank stocks now. Again, Square's a fintech stock. I hold IPOE, which is merging with SoFi. I hold JPM. I think some of those are just good long-term plays, but there's going to be a lot of disruption in the banking sector. So I would just be cautious about some of the smaller players that are slow to change. So just be careful on that. Hey, what NSTB talking Apex clearing from public? So I saw that they were taking them public, but I haven't looked into that one super in depth. Okay, my top 3 questions for the video. List of indexes and other criteria you look at on a daily basis to understand the big image of the market better for that day. Okay, so with that, I look at the S&P 500, VIX, also Dow and the NASDAQ. So VIX volatility index, and the other ones are just indexes for different sectors and different list of companies. So that's what I kind of get an idea for what the market's doing at the time. If you had to pick one company right now and call it the next Amazon, which one would it be? So with Amazon, that's like a very specific thing. I don't know if you're talking about like the growth of Amazon or the fact that it's so broad ranging. That's tough because anything small is really tough to pick out. Otherwise, I'd have so much money in it if I really thought it was going to be the next Amazon. Amazon's huge. I think probably the easiest one to pick out would be like a Tesla. Like they're going to get into insurance, they're going to get into robo taxis, they're going to get into they're already in the energy sector with batteries and with solar roofs. I think they're going to get into a lot more stuff, but that might be a little bit of a cop out because it already is such a big company. Why wouldn't you get a face tattoo? I don't like tattoos, but yeah, I wouldn't get any kind of tattoo probably. But hopefully you guys like this, just answering some of the questions. If you guys want to be able to ask questions like this, definitely check out the link down below to Patreon. Also, if you want to check out the link down below to Blockfy, you can see you can get a nice interest rate on some of your cryptocurrency, so definitely check that out. Also, if you're interested, you can check out WeBull, get some free stocks, deposit $100. I really appreciate that. And again, please hit the like button if you guys like this. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.